go-to-market growth is like very similar things all the time. You find who your customers are. You find them how to message them. You try to turn them into a customer. That's the name of the game. The thing is, the nuances is like how to do it effectively, what the messaging is, where your customers are, what they resonate with, what the process is, what the life cycle is, what the value is, what the unit economics is, and what seasonality. Like all those are nuances, but the overall framework is the same.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship. My name is Lam, your host. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is a show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in Web3 and entrepreneurship. Some topics, especially in Web3 and AI, may get technical, but we do our best to keep it accessible for most of you here today. I'm joined by Hudson Liao. He's the CEO and co-founder of TheHog.ai. Hudson, would you give a quick introduction by yourself?
Yeah, my name's Hudson, the CEO, co-founder of The Hog. Like you said, The Hog stands for the head of growth. So over the last 10, 15 years, I've been like the head of growth for multiple startups, and then basically tried to automate myself and turn myself into an AI product. So that's how we got into YC, and that's what we launched, and we're still building that right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I think many of you will be curious about your background, like what you did before, maybe pick a time, maybe from your first job, walking us forward up to the present day. What you do?
Oh man,
great.
I'm going to challenge you to see who has a more unconventional career path than I did. So
Nice.
my first job out of college was actually a firefighter in the California State Fire Department. And then after that, for one fire season, I went into finance. So went into like private equity, got my CFA in investing. And from there, went into fintech.
Wow.
Like that was the year of like all the robo advisors and stuff coming up. So kind of went into the fintech area, and then from fintech got into biotech because one of my friends was starting up his own biotech accelerator fund called IndieBio. At that time, I think it was the first and largest biotech accelerator focused fund out there. And I was out there helping out a lot of the companies go to market. And I was helping a lot of them, like leading their growth, building out like go to market playbooks, user acquisition, and then kind of got into other startups, and kind of from there just kind of went on from biotech, moved to like SaaS, consumer tech, and now my recent startup that I was at was actually another IT AI company doing IT software, and that was where I was the head of growth there again. And then I met my co-founder there, and we just started talking about how AI can like change go-to-market, sales, and marketing. And I was building out my own like agents to do work, and then we were wondering like, how big is this pain point? How big is this problem? And then really found a big hole in the market for us. So that's why we got excited to build The Hog.
Nice, interesting. Yeah, you do have a very much diverse career there. It's just curious, like why did you choose like firefighting in the first place? Was that like something you always wanted to do?
So when I think as a guy, like you always kind of wonder. But then I was really lucky because the school I went to was UC Davis, and they had a student firefighting program there. If you became a student firefighter, you got to live on campus at the firehouse for free. It was like a dorm above the fire department. And so you just worked like certain shifts. So you made up by working as a firefighter, campus firefighter. And so obviously from there, that's kind of how I met a lot of friends. And then after that, I did one season at the Cal Fire Department up in Mendocino County.
Okay, I see. Yeah, interesting. So basically, you got like free housing, and then that was the promptus. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then how did you switch from that to like finance? I don't think there's much like overlapping between firefighting and finance, right? Yeah.
Well, while at Davis, I was also doing a double major in economics and business management at the same time. Oh, and sociology. So business management and sociology. And so after that, I was over interning, doing like intern at like real estate companies, like finance companies during my time during college. So after that, I just used my degree to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do.
Okay, makes sense. And then so finance was like your first calling, and then afterward, like you switch into technology, right? And then growth, and can you share with us a bit? You said biotech also, right? Yeah, which is like so many different industries already.
Yeah. So when I got into finance, I started investing in companies, right? And choosing investments, and then part of that is like understanding like why a company would do well, especially when it like a smaller company in the private equity side when they're not public yet. It's about the company, the product market fit, the team. So I got super excited about like learning more about building. Being in San Francisco, heart of Silicon Valley, you see all these success stories. Talk about like how people like when they go into a startup. And they find the right one, and all of a sudden they're all rich and stuff. At that time I was super young, thinking everybody was gonna get rich in startups. So like I wanted to learn how to build a startup. And so I was like for me, like I always like think about first principles.
Yeah.
And I'm always like the fastest way for me to learn about something is to do it. And so that's kind of how I got down the rabbit hole of like working at startups. And I'm not technical on the tech or bio side, but I knew how to build a company and do business and like set up go to market, marketing, and reach companies. So doing the other half of things like most of the other founders didn't want to do. Weren't good at that time, right? Like for instance, like I was working with some of the smartest, most passionate people. They're trying to solve cancer, and they're literally like looking for new drugs and therapeutics, and they would be in the lab for like 12 to 20 hours a day or night, but they would never pick up the phone to call someone to pitch their product. So like I could do that all day. So, so that, finding the perfect fit was like important, and like team building. And when you believe in something and you have a good team, like that's what really got me kind of like addicted and bitten by the startup bug.
I see. Cool. Yeah. So basically, you I think you found your strength, right? And then you want to play, but then you want to learn from how startups are building it. And then interesting, because I remember, I guess like growth is a role that's actually like very strong in like the 2010s. I mean, even now, right? Obviously, many different industry using it, but I feel like in 2000 there wasn't much like growth role, right? People did not even call it back then like growth. I guess it's like yeah.
Back then, I think they called it business development, or still kind of business development, or like marketing, sales. Like it wasn't like growth became more synonymous with like startup world. That became more a startup thing. I think it's being adopted more because it's like more performance driven growth. But yeah, at that time, like there wasn't really a head of growth like role at that point. Man.
Yeah, basically. So you crafted your own way, and then, but I'm sure since you work in different industry, like there's probably like a lot of commonalities between like growth, right? Between like one industry to another that you can apply, right? I think that's something that
I mean, and that's the hypothesis of our platform, right? Like go to market growth is like very similar things all the time, right? You find who your customers are. You find them how to message them. You message them, and then you try to turn them into a customer. That's the name of the game. The thing is, the nuances is like how to do it effectively, what the messaging is, where your customers are, what they resonate with, what the process is, what the life cycle is, what the value is, what the unit economics is, and what seasonality. Like all those are nuances, but the overall framework is the same.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that's why it's very much applicable. It's why one of the meta skills, I would say, like that's applicable across different industry. Cool. Yeah, so maybe just one fun question before we deep dive into your company. Share with us what you do for fun these days in your free time.
Free time. So I've trained like Muay Thai and MMA for a long time, or Muay Thai stuff. So that's what I used to stay in shape, I guess.
That's cool. Yeah. How often do you train?
Oh man, these days after YC, I can't even count. Like if I've been lucky, like once or twice a month, maybe. Yeah. Back in the day, like when I was really going at it, it was like 6 times a week, kind of a thing. Oh. But that was like when I was like really kind of into it, after work and stuff like that. I just go work out. Yeah. I also like if I'm not working on a startup, I have another nonprofit in San Francisco too. So that takes up a lot of other time, which is like more of a passion project.
I see. That's cool. Can you tell us a bit more about that nonprofit project? What does it do?
Yeah, it's called Asians Are Strong. Look it up. Like, I'm more passionate about people learning about that because like that started during the pandemic in San Francisco when there was a spike in anti-Asian hate and violence, and so we created a nonprofit to really protect and empower the Asian and Pacific Islander communities out here.
Cool. Yeah. So it sounds like very meaningful. That's a mission that your nonprofit.
Yeah, that's definitely a mission-driven project.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah. So without further ado, I think let's go and deep dive into your current company that you guys are building, The Hog, right? TheHog.ai. Feel free to share a presentation or website of your company.
Yeah, I can talk
to us a bit about.
Yeah, I can show you the website.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if we want to jump into a demo because we're just launching my stuff.
Oh, good. And then If you can share maybe the little bit of background, like how the company got started, like what I mean, what was the initial ideas like coming from? Was it like it sounds like come from your side, right?
Yeah. So the hog stands for the head of growth. And basically I was trying to automate myself as best as possible. And because to me, the writing was on the wall. I was like, well, if, am I sharing my screen? I can't even tell.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I was like, for me, it was like, okay, the writing was on the wall. If like AI is replacing engineers and coders, like marketers and salespeople, you're up next. And seeing how powerful it is to use, that was something that was like really like important for me to like think about it as well. Like, how is this going to impact me? And how is this going to impact us within our within our industry? And so for me, I'm always like, either I'm gonna like if I'm gonna either disrupt myself or get disrupted, you know. And so that was what the idea was. And so at the last startup I was with before I started this company, I was the head of growth there, and that's where I met my CTO, Paulo. He was a senior AI engineer there, and he just loves go to market. And so when I got brought on, we just kind of jammed on go to market and marketing, user acquisition, growth, and all that different stuff, and talked about it. And then he was wondering what I was doing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to use as much AI as I possibly can to kind of see how I can speed up." So I was building all these like and agents like workflows and using them for research and how to like build out reports and like see how much I can do from there, like scaling go to market game plans. And so we were just building it out after work and on the weekends and just seeing like just jamming on like what can we do, and then got convicted that this is something that we probably could turn into a product. And so we had the idea like, shoot, maybe we can just apply to YC and see what happens. And then we got in, and then we quit our job on the same day, and then joined YC.
Nice. Yeah. That's I think that's really cool. Yeah. Tell us more about like the YC. So now you guys are part of the YC batch. I think like 2025, right? Yeah.
It just ended in December.
Okay.
It's intense because I think every company is different, and every company is going to have a very different experience there. Some pivot, some don't, some like just grow, some are like really established before they even get in there, or some are like us, like basically an idea, and then you kind of build it from there and then see what kind of growth you get from there. So for us, it was super intense because we didn't really have a product at that time yet. We had kind of a janky MVP at that point. I still think it's still kind of an MVP, but it's still powerful enough. And then so from there, like we really kept building, bringing on clients and customers and learning about our market and kind of evolving it a little bit more.
Nice. So basically you apply in like pre-product, but I think YC they accept company from different stages anyway, right? And then I think I felt like they find, I guess, like what is the word here, founder market fit or something like that, where also like the founder have fit, and then whether like the market has opportunity. And so I think they looking, I mean, of course they have the whole holistic selection, but so you said the program just finished recently, right? What has been your impression? Did you learn a lot? Is it helpful? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely worth it. I mean, let alone the network that you get and the support that you get. And for us, like that's our ICP. Like lean teams wanting to use AI to scale and grow their companies and businesses, right? So for us, like being part of YC was like being part of like who our ideal customers are too. And so that was a double for us. And also like really the network, the people you meet that are awesome, the other founders that are supportive, like having like those that are listening that are like solo founding or like building as a team. I mean, you have co-founders, but you don't have a network of founders. I would say really go out there and find people doing the same thing, building, and really like lean on each other, build some trust, and be vulnerable. To be honest, like because like YC was like such a tight knit group, we really shared problems. And I think a lot of times when you're an entrepreneur and a founder, like you're trying to pretend everything's great. And it's tough especially when things are not, and you don't know who to talk to, right? Like, imagine having a problem that you need real help for, but you don't feel comfortable to tell other people openly because you're afraid, like, what that might look like for your company, or you don't trust the other person, or you're worried about someone's going to judge you, kind of thing. But having a real network of other people, like-minded people that want to root for you and help you and that can actually add value, like founders really need that network.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, YC is known for producing so many different unicorns and with so many different smart founders. I'm sure you. So it sounds like you're able to test your product and maybe sell to a few of the even YC founders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a lot of YC companies that are customers still, a lot of non-YC companies and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's really cool. So obviously, I mean, your product is like a go-to-market, like command center in a way, right? So what type of company do you think are like your own ideal profiles, like ideal customer?
As of right now, it's really fine-tuned for like B2B and SaaS companies, to be honest. It is mainly because like right now we're building out like our own data graph and knowledge graph, and the most accurate one that we can use right now is really like LinkedIn. So people who sell and buy on LinkedIn usually are B2B and SaaS type companies as well. But the goal is kind of from there to evolve the platform and build a richer data set, richer like audience segmentation, and using it to help like build out and find like different channels for companies to like scale.
I see. Channel. So basically, you industry agnostic, but you said like more like B2B, like high growth, right?
Yeah. It's complete industry agnostic, right? Like you use it, like for instance, like you could use Claude for copy or marketing, content writing for any industry, to be honest. But
Yeah.
one of the values that we're looking for is basically helping people find customers, find their ICP, find their personas. From there, like it obviously depends on like what kind of companies where they work at, what their job title, what their seniority is. All that information currently only really lives on LinkedIn. And so that's why like finding out different data sources from there, even different data providers like the other like GTM platforms like Clay and Apollo, Zoom Info, they all kind of scrape from LinkedIn to compile it too. So that's kind of where we start. And then you create like basically like nodes, like verified nodes. From there, you can build on top of it.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Can you walk us through like a one example workflow of like how it would work for a customer? Like let's say they want to onboard into your platform, use it to like, GTM, go to market, get more clients. How
Yeah,
do they go
yeah.
about doing it? Yeah.
Yeah, so when you sign up to the platform, we kind of do like onboarding, like a sales and marketing onboarding, AI generated from there. I mean, AI enabled, so like you can tell like what your company does, your pain points. Basically, we'll scrape your website, and then or you can upload documents to the website, and we'll do like a strategic positioning based on what you're telling us. You can edit it because sometimes like your website or your documentation might not be completely updated, or you might pivot it and you didn't really tell anyone. Or a lot of people use our tool to find like new analysis and using our AI to kind of use competitive analysis for you. And from there, we do a lot of like competitive monitoring, social listening, and using that to kind of understand like your market, your audience, and then how to target them. And so like someone like a founder or lean team or like sales, actually one of the people right now, like a SDR, like a sales rep, uses it to find leads that are actively talking and engaging in different conversations. And our AI basically helps them contact and reach out to them, which is a little different from like AI SDR, AI BDRs, where it basically just blasts email and blasts like inboxes. So we listen for active conversation and engagement. So if they're having comments on like X or LinkedIn or Reddit, we'll filter out, our AI basically filter out context of those conversations. So you filter out like bots and trash and stuff like that, and then this way you actually have real intent monitoring.
I see. Yeah. So basically, you would have to, I guess, like when a customer onboard into your platform, you have to plug or integrate with the existing, with the social media and other data sources, right? That way to be able to
They
tap
do
into what.
not.
Yeah.
They do not. Our platform goes and searches the web and categorizes it for them. So
I
they
see.
actually, their accounts are never actually at risk. That's one of the key things we did in the future, that we can connect this so they can automate more and more of the outbound outreach and extensions. But as of the platform, as of right now, we do it on their behalf based on the keywords and competitors they want us to monitor.
Okay. I see. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it sounds like it's quite simple onboarding for the client then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Okay. And who would you consider to be like your main competitors in this space? You said that you did mention a few companies. Yeah.
It's a combination. I think when you say the words GTM, most people think about like Clay, Apollo, and Zoom Info, which are kind of like outbound email tools and like outbound LinkedIn tools, to be honest. And that's kind of where we want to differentiate. It's not like just outbound like into inbox and emails, because everyone's getting spammed. I don't know if how much you get spammed nowadays, but I just ignore my email and I ignore my LinkedIn inbox because it's just so much crap now. So I was like, how do you find ways to be like more authentic with people and really listen to conversations? And it's funny, it sounds hypocritical because like we're using AI to do it, but ours is kind of filtering like who actually wants to talk to you and when and why is meaningful to them at that point. So our goal is with AI, you can actually scale authenticity. I think like last year and the year before, people have proven that volume is no longer an issue. Personalization, they just say like, oh, put your name in the title, your company title. That's not really to us personalization. Like everyone does it. Everyone knows my first name. Like we've been doing that since MailChimp. Like that's not new. You know what I mean? Personalization, like what, like, do you really know what my pain points are? You know, what I really care about and talking to me in a way that you think resonates with me specifically. And timing is the key part. When you spray and pray, like people know you're spamming, you know, and for us, that's a big thing too. I think like the more companies spray and pay with these AI tools and you know, you just play the volume game, they forget how much like it's hurting their brand and reputation. Like they're basically training people to start ignoring their brand. You know, so and that's a thing that I think is solvable with AI too. It's caused by AI, but it's also solvable by AI.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you actually mentioned like one of the keyword I want to highlight is like scale authenticity. Yeah, which is like you said in the day, AI is actually really fast. Right? Obviously, you can use like AI tool to do like send hundreds or even thousands of email at once, right? But then you do the mass volume, but then you don't have like that personalization, so people is gonna ignore, and it's not effective, right? So like exactly what you said, personalization, knowing the pain point, talk with them, but also like for the right timing, right? Like for example, if the
Timing
pain
is
is
the
not
hard
now,
part.
having that part, I agree. Yeah, like if the pain is like 1 year from now and you talk with them now, I'm like, no, it's not like the right timing, right? But if the pain is like tomorrow and you talk with them today, then interesting. How do you do the social listening part? I'm curious. Like,
Yeah. So basically, like we have like monitoring, like scraping tools, proprietary systems that we kind of do like data enrichment side. So we listen based on like keywords and context and competitors. Basically, you set up in a system like these are the words I want to listen to. Like for us, like anyone that mentions like go to market engineering or sales or AI and marketing, like I want to know about that. If anyone on LinkedIn or Twitter or X is talking about that topic, I want to know about it, except for there's millions of people talking about it all the time. So how do you filter out what is context, what is high importance, who matches your ICP, who maxes like your pain point and your value solution, right? And that's kind of how we put it into like one place for our users to use in one spot.
Super fascinating. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have come up with like a special system for that. Interesting. And I think right now, could you share a bit about, so after the YC is already over, share a bit about the current traction for your product?
Yeah, we got like over like 160 customers, and it's a PLG motion. And so like people sign up on their own, they can test it out. One of the few companies, we have a 30-day money back guarantee because for us, it's like, you know, early on, we want to build something meaningful that's sticky, that's a like an industry changing platform. You know, that's our goal and dream. And so for us, like you have to really deliver something for your customers. And you know, sales and marketing people, they're going to tell you if your platform sucks and they'll churn. But that's real feedback that I want to know. Like I'd rather them tell us. That's why we have a 30-day money back guarantee. And a lot of people have churn. You know, we're still building. Like this idea is only like 3 months old from when we came out. We knew this was going to happen. It hurts, but like we knew it was going to happen. But at least they give us like meaningful information for us to continue to grow and scale and build a company to where we know it's going to become very sticky.
Nice. Yeah. And I think 30-day money policy is a pretty strong statement because I'm sure you must believe in your product, right? And like delivering the value. If it doesn't, then you get feedback. So it's a win-win anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. How did you get the first like 10 customers? Usually like the first 10 is the more difficult one, right?
Oh, YC.
Oh, YC. Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole point, part of like joining YC, why we thought it was worth it. Like yes, is why it's worth it. Like, you know, that's where our ICPs are, like forward thinking, fast growing companies wanting to use AI, leveraging it to grow their company. Growth is a priority. Like it's almost like perfect for us to be there. And you build a reputation there. Like they know to trust you. They know where to find you. They know that you're not just going to take their money and run away, kind of a thing. So they're more willing to trust, but they're also way more willing to give you raw feedback too.
Yes. Yeah. I bet. Basically, I mean, you guys like experience what? Like you said, it's 6 weeks program, was that it? Or something like that? Yeah. A few weeks.
It's like 10, 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
The fall semester was, the fall cohort was shorter and tougher because of the holidays.
I see.
That was rough.
I see. Yeah, but basically, I mean, after like 10, 12 weeks of building together, probably have like some social events, whatever, right? Gathering, and so people get to know, talk to each other. Yeah, I think that's where the relationship really cultivated, right? It's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. And right now, is this just you and your co-founder, like just two people you guys building? And
yeah, we have contractors that work on different aspects, but like mainly just me and my co-founder.
Okay, I see. And I mean, obviously, you said the idea is still somewhat nascent, relatively new. So, what are some of the? I'm sure there must be. You guys are growing pretty well. Obviously, like you said, 3 months and already over 160 plus customers. That's really good growth, I think, in my opinion. What are some of the challenges facing your team?
Well, I mean, just scaling with like just a little resources. We want to build everything super fast, but like there's only like 2 of us right now, so it's really bandwidth side for us.
I see. Yeah, are you looking more for like engineering folks to join? And
yeah, founding engineers, if you want to build and go to market, build the future of like autonomous, like go to market, marketing, and sales. Like for us, like this is to us is clear future. Like most, if not all, like go to market, marketing, sales is going to be automated with AI, either 100% automated or it's going to be like AI enabled, right? And for us, if you really believe in that future, we also believe that agents work better on the same platform, and that's on the technical side, right? Like a sales agent and a marketing agent, they work better on the same platform instead of 2 different like platforms, because like the data friction and latency and all that stuff, that's just natural when you have 2 different systems trying to talk to each other. So if you believe in a fully autonomous like marketing sales world, then you also believe that they should be on the same platform to be more powerful.
Yeah, makes sense. And then basically, so you guys are leveraging AI. I'm curious, like how do you think this AI native like go to market system, right? Was this replace completely traditional growth team, or is it like complementing? How do you see that?
Same thing like coding, right? Like it's never going to replace every engineer. It's going to replace some bad ones, and you still need an engineer to like manage it, but like you'll supercharge it. The same way you can have like 1 or 2 like billion-dollar companies and businesses building, like you just have 1 or 2 people just running the whole go-to-market marketing sales team now, until you get to a point where you have to segment. But like is people always think like AI like replaces. AI is a tool, right? Same thing as like internet was a tool, social media was a tool. Like they're just tools to be used by people. Before, like people like social media was so brand new, but like now, like if you don't use social media, like it doesn't make sense for like marketing, right? And other like platforms as well, like like if you're not you like you're not, imagine the internet at that time. Like you're not going to build a company without internet anymore. Even, and also like cloud storage, right? Like most companies are on the cloud, like it makes no sense for you to not be on the cloud. So it's like at that time, like, oh, are you on the cloud? Yeah, now it's like it would make no sense. It'll get to a point where like it makes no sense to not be using AI.
Yeah. It feels like, I mean, you either use AI or you don't use it. But if you don't use AI, you're kind of at a disadvantage, obviously, compared
to it's up to you. Like
you're competing. Yeah, exactly. But because you're competing with other companies.
Yeah, you can ride a bike if you want, or you could drive a car. It's up to you. It's still a personal choice, whatever it is. But like if you're racing, like I'm taking the car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm taking the bullet train.
Yeah, exactly. We're taking flight, like whatever. Like if AI is an option. Like everything is an option. Like cloud is an option. You can go ahead and like build out your own data warehouse or like storage if you want. Like you can technically, like it's up to you, but like it makes no sense to do it.
Interesting. Yeah. So do you see this like a growth as a service? I guess like what you guys are offering? Like, is that like will be the next like evolution of the B2B market?
I mean, like growth as a service, like, it's more the results, right? It's still SaaS, it's still software, but like that's just the marketing side for us. Like because the AI like is the first time like things can be like into usage based, right? And that's a big shift our companies can be making too. Instead of perceive, it's gonna be usage based, credit based, like Lovable and Manus and all these great platforms. Companies are now gonna have to just pay for results. That's why we thought growth as a service is like you're not gonna be paying for a seat. You're gonna be paying for the results that the platform can help you do.
Makes sense. And then if the platform doesn't get the result, is the result like tied to the KPI, or is this like some commonly defined things that you can actually measure?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on what that company thinks as growth, right? And that's why I think this is such a startup world. were like growth, like head of growth. Like I've been at head of growth where it was like revenue focused. Another one was like user focused. Another one was just like brand awareness. Some are free users, paid users. Usually it's no new customers is kind of aligned, but then there's other aspects of growth too, which is kind of maybe increasing LTV or usage or finding new market segments, or scaling different like product lines. But part of that is kind of like, what you define as a company. And that's kind of why I think like having a holistic platform that has different growth channels is going to be important for the future. Because most people, when they say go to market, they think emails and LinkedIn, like GTM, right? And then that bothers me because like going to market is not an email inbox or just GTM. Like there's paid marketing, there's events, there's referrals, there's inbound content, organic content. There's all so many different ways to build a company, and companies need to be able to adapt. The faster the industry is moving because of AI, the faster you need to adapt to the moving market as well. One playbook might work for one company, it's definitely not going to work for yours. And even if it did work for yours, there's a good chance that it will kind of stop working for yours at some point, or get saturated, or you hit some kind of scalability issues that your platform will need to, that your whole strategy will need to kind of think about the next channel to use.
Makes sense. Yeah. I remember there was this book I was reading, like there's only certain number of channels. I mean, there's, I forgot, it's like under 20, but like over 15 different channels. So you can list most of them out, right? Like social media is one of them, email marketing, and then like, for example, even like offline marketing, offline events also. Things like that. Obviously, different businesses have different ways, and eventually, if one channel got saturated, right, like you said, time to explore some new channel with lower cost of acquisition for consumer, and then like finding new growth. That's interesting. And then talk a bit more about like your business model. I think is it right now, you said you heading more to like usage based, right? But is right now, like, is it still paper company?
Right now it's
Like
paper
for monthly
seat,
basis,
like how many users
paper
that
seat.
you use it. Yeah, different tiers based on how many like competitors, how many projects, how many game plans, how many keywords you want to listen to, because that's more of the cost side of things. But yeah, we'll be moving to a usage based one. Like, how many leads do you want? How many companies do you want to scrape? How many like profiles do you want to find for you? How many blogs you want us to make? How many ad campaigns you want us to create for you too?
I see. Yeah, makes sense. What's the main rationale behind moving to the usage base? Is it because of the cost structure?
Yeah, a couple of reasons, right? To me, it's like you always want to be as aligned with the success of your company, your customers as possible.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of, before subscription, right?
Yeah.
Subscription models like SaaS models, that was the whole thing, because like if your company gave value, companies stayed with you. If your product gave value, your service gave value, they'll stay with you. Now it's like if you gave value, they'll use you more. If you don't give value, they'll use you less. And I think that is aligned with the values and uh goals of your customers, and I think that always keeps companies more and more honest too.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because like performance based, I still think is like way better than just like a generic, right? Because if they see value, just like you said, they will be likely to stay with you more. I think just like any other consumer apps that we use like on a daily basis. Like I think for most of us in the tech world, probably use like Cloud Code or some of the AI subscription, right? And then if we actually use them, we see value, we keep paying for them. We don't see it, then we cancel it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like Lovable and Manage, like they hit like 100 million, 200 million ARR being usage based.
Yeah, which is really impressive for the growth, everything. It seems like there's a huge market for like indie developers and people, creators, right, want to build their own things.
The same people that want to build on their own is what we're building a platform for, is that they can scale and grow on their own. So we're trying to build like the Lovable of go-to-market.
Lovable for go-to-market. I like that. Yeah, that's gonna be a good slogan for your company right there. Yeah. So how maybe just a few more questions here. How will the go-to-market like evolve in the future? Like, do you think company will try to use some new strategy, new tools? How do you foresee it look like in the future?
I mean, quality and speed and volume have completely been unlocked, right? Like especially volume and speed. I think, like I said, like the next evolution is going to be like scaling up quality and authenticity. and finding ways to really reach people more meaningfully. And I think there's going to be more diverse channels of acquisition for companies. I think companies are going to use more channels. Historically, people usually and they still should. They should always think about 2 to 3 core channels.
Yeah.
And really nail those down as your core. But then I think people are going to go omni-channel a lot faster because they should have a bigger footprint. But then the whole AI agents, I think a lot of it's going to be agent driven, which is a little bit different from AEO. Like AEO, SEO is a different subcategory, which I think is meaningful too. But there's going to be agents, right? Like if you're talking about like Claude Code, right? Like Claude Code actually will recommend certain products to use for like their back end or their like data infrastructure or like credits, credit system or payment system. Like the agents tell you themselves what they want to build on. Like, and all of a sudden, like we're going to have agents telling us and recommending us certain tools, not just an AEO and SO, but like literally as you're building go to market, they're going to start recommending certain services and tools. That's going to be a new world where I think it's going to be super interesting.
Yeah.
But like creating content at scale is gonna be super easy, right? I think like people are gonna make like things that look like movies with prompts.
Yeah. Super exciting. Actually, you're talking about like movie with prompt. I know one of the like founder that I met through a community here, and then I think he's basically kind of doing that, like translating a movie transcript and then turn it into like a manga, but like very fun and enjoyable and entertainment, right? It's like somewhere between long. It's not short form, but it's also not like long form. So somewhere in the middle, like people get hooked to it, because people actually like reading comic books and manga. So I do see a lot of that. And then, and you did mention the point about it will be driven by agent. I see that. I mean, a lot of my experience in Web3, obviously, and in Web3 also right now, there's a lot of people experimenting with agent. There's something called like the agent economy, where I think there's some prediction where the agent economy will someday surpass the human economy by value, right? Created by value at some point, where we have like agent to human, agent to computer, and then agent to agent, right? Everywhere is like agent just like transacting with each other. So I think that's basically kind of lined up with what you're saying there, right? Yeah, it's going to be very much like agent driven, because obviously agent can scale much faster. People can just like spin up in the future, right? Maybe 10 or 100 hundreds of agents like working for them. You have an army of agents like working for you when you're sleeping. So I do imagine. I think it kind of lined up with what you're saying there. Yeah, cool. Since you've been building, I mean, this is like running your own startup. Do you have any advice for people who want to build their own company, high growth company?
If you want to build. Like, there's no faster way to learn and achieve anything than to do it, right? That's always been me. The only way to like learn is to do stuff. You'll overthink the most out of it. What you think is perfect is probably not. Perfection is subjective, right? I think that's the thing. Like even creating content, like you'll overthink creating content, but it might be the perfect content for someone. You'll never know until you put it in the world. Getting real feedback is number one. And for those that are building and really wanting real feedback, make someone pay as soon as possible. Get paid people feedback as soon as possible. That's why we didn't do a free trial. We think we will do that at some point when we make sure that the product is sticky and we know that we have product market fit in certain aspects of it. But for us, like I told you, like we definitely are going to keep with the whole like 30-day money back guarantee, because if you pay us, we will take your feedback because we know you care about it. For us, that helps us filter out like what it is. Now, it's not going to work for everybody. It's not going to be the perfect tool for everybody yet. My dream is going to be the perfect go-to-market tool for everybody soon, one day. But it's not there yet, and I understand that, and I'm going to be honest with it. And if that happens, I'll let my customers know, like, hey, I know you didn't get the value. Here's your money. I don't want you to have a bad experience. I'll let you know when those features that you want come out, and then we'll see you back in a few months.
Makes sense. So it sounds like, have you experienced any like expensive lessons along the way of building a company?
Nothing that like we didn't foresee. I mean, like just building fast is just it just costs money to build. And I think like what would be considered like an expensive. No, like it's hard to say. Like it's kind of like I kind of knew what I was getting myself into because I just been around like building startups and things that as fast. But building a PLG software is very different from an enterprise software because it's just the volume of people that you work with as soon as possible. So scaling and operating that is a very different beast.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, interesting. Cool. Yeah, cool. And well, finally, is there any social media or where do you want people to follow you or to connect with you?
I mean, technically, we have TheHog.ai. We're not very active on that yet for reasons I can't say yet. But find me on LinkedIn. Like, I love for people to DM me if you want to talk about growth. It's Hudson Liao. Look for TheHog.ai. The reason why we chose the hog too is like very easy to remember and type in. I doubt that as many people are going to look for that one. So if anyone just wants to jam on like growth and go to market, helping their company, happy to. Just like gas. I love making up words that stick. Like instead of the whole like FDE, like the forward deployed engineers. Well, we're doing like FDG, like forward deployed growth. So
I see.
Either I help you grow and build out your go to market stack, or my tool can do it for you automatically one day.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, hopefully one day that the acronym FDG will become like the new new yeah, exactly, new job profile that will spring up in this decade, hopefully. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Once again, Hudson, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today, talking about growth and what you guys are building at TheHog. I wish you the best of luck going forward. And yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah, appreciate it. And good luck to all the other entrepreneurs, man. It's a grind, but it's gonna be worth it. You guys chose this life, so just lean into it.
Yeah, thank you. And we're back to my studio. What do you think about the product that Hudson and his team are building at TheHog.ai? If your company is looking to scale your growth, feel free to reach out to Hudson and his team to try out the service. For the next episode, we'll come back to the Web3 world to talk to Ariel Iberman, who's commonly known online as the stablecoin guy, since he tests various payment apps and cards. He's also working as the Latin America director for Gnosis Pay. If you enjoyed this episode about Web3 and entrepreneurship, please give a like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Thank you for watching and see you next time.